Most people struggle with money. That's just a fact. Money is deeply intertwined with our modern survival. It impacts every area of our life. Even when you think you're not thinking about money, you are. Your health depends on it. The sanity of your relationship depends on it. You might want to complain and say it's unfair, but I gotta disagree. I'm not here to tell you the truth about money was somehow hidden from you because you're in your current financial situation because you failed to understand a fundamental truth. Making money is a skill. You didn't question how you were raised. You developed a terrible psychological relationship with money, and because of that, you never took the time to study, practice, and master the skill of making as much money as you want. Money problems don't exist, but psychological problems do. So in this video, I'm going to share 4 habits that genuinely helped me grow in my life. I won't use materialistic things to attract you or influence you, but if you do find this helpful, please give the video some love by hitting the like button and commenting helpful down below. Habit 1 is reframing selfishness. Selfishness and selflessness are 2 sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. Just like you can't fully appreciate happiness without having experienced sadness. So we need to stop seeing selfish as a negative word. Instead, become strategically selfish. Think of yourself as a cell phone battery or a muscle. When you're fully charged up or recovered, you perform your best. When you're exhausted, you shut the hell down. Most people operate at 0% battery in everything they do. So here's how you can become strategically selfish. First, identify non-negotiable. Create a short list of what you absolutely need to function, whether it be exercise, alone time, or more sleep. Make it as specific as possible. These are necessities, not luxuries. Next, be unapologetic when saying no. This is difficult, but practice saying no without saying sorry. Simply state that you're not available and let their reactions expose their lack of care for your well-being. Next, we got to filter requests against the resources we have. If you don't have the energy, if it's not important, if you have to give up something vital, or if you're going to hate it, just fucking decline it. Lastly, give when you're overflowing. Know what you need to function and perform at your best. Only then can you give away your energy free. Once all your priorities have been met. If you practice becoming more selfish, your quality of life will improve drastically in just 1 week. I promise. Habit 2, set higher standards. You aren't where you want to be because you're okay with where you are. If you're okay with having 50 cents in your bank account, you're not going to have the internal desire to change that. Any opportunities to improve your health, relationship, or finance will likely just remain closed off to your mind. But if you set a standard where you're only okay with having, say, 100 grand in your bank account, then anything less than that is going to seem like a problem that needs to be fixed. Problems, when they're treated like projects, are what make life more enjoyable. When you have high standards, your mind's survival instinct instantly notices opportunities to help you fix those problems. And look, some days you'll have to work longer, skip a workout, or miss happy hour with friends, but standards are simply a mental state, identifies opportunities, and brings clarity to the actions you're going to take. Your Google searches start to change to acquire better skills. You begin having conversations about money with your friends, and all of these tiny choices start to compound into massive results. You rewire your thinking patterns based on your intentional search for specific information relating to the problem that you're trying to solve. All right, habit 3, think like an entrepreneur. Here's my prediction. The future of work will consist mostly of entrepreneurs, and if not, then elite employees who have entrepreneurial traits in the increasingly rare positions that are available. What we know as entry level is gonna go extinct. This leaves 2 options: rely on government support with a marginal chance of a good life, or take full responsibility and become an entrepreneur. Sadly, entrepreneurship and business have become dirty words. People believe it's only for the ultra talented and requires massive upfront startup cost. So let me redefine it for you. The difference between an employee and an entrepreneur is the difference between low agency and high agency. High agency individuals create their own goals, and they pursue them without permission. Low agency individuals are assigned goals and pursue them because they're told to, or because their programming doesn't allow them to see other options. Industrial schooling and employment, they breed complacency and ultimately danger your psyche. They go against your human nature of needing uncertainty, challenge, and a constant improvement to thrive. Work consumes 1/3 of our lives. If that massive chunk is spent in stagnation, you're gonna decline into chaos. If that massive chunk is spent in stagnation, your decline into chaos is gonna be inevitable. Entrepreneurship is the only logical option for long-term thinkers. So stop thinking of employee and entrepreneur as job titles. Think of them more like states of mind. The secret is cultivating a skill set so impactful that you can't help but want to share it. Look, you solve your own problems, you sell that solution, and in doing so, you improve humanity. That's entrepreneurship. Lastly, habit 4, enthusiasm over obsession. You hear people say you need to be obsessed. I'm guilty of saying it myself. We use this to describe successful people who have an intense spirit. If you're someone who has that intensity, you need to learn to redirect that energy away from controlling people and towards a skill, an interest, or even a business. The real word for this drive is enthusiasm, but that doesn't feel as cool or edgy as obsessed. The word enthusiasm comes from the Greek enthusiasmos, with the literal translation having God within or God inspired. It referred to being possessed or inspired by divine spirit, suggesting that true creative power comes from beyond just the individual. The master key to the good life is to fill your average day with things that make you enthusiastic. The most important thing you can do is reverse engineer where your enthusiasm comes from, and then begin to eliminate, outsource, or accept all the things that don't align. Acceptance is the decision to see reality as it is, not attempting to control the uncontrollable, and not allowing those situations to poison your mind. So notice when an activity makes you feel energized, one that distorts time and makes folk effortless. Especially notice when you can't sleep at night because you're having too many ideas of what you're going to do. And I encourage you, do everything in your power to fill your day with more of these. Literally block off 2 hours a day to pursue your enthusiasm. Those hours are going to change your life. All right, there you have it. Those were 4 habits that I wanted to share with you to take your life to the next level. Thank you so much for watching till the end. As always, stay gold, Pony Boy. Peace.